2 weeks later, around 2 weeks actually, they found Derek Hansen. I think, yeah, he was 14 years old, and they found his dismembered body.
Oh, he already killed another person then, right?
Well, it wasn't written in the case file yet. It was Craig Townsend, but when he was hospitalized, to recover from whatever he went through, he ran away
Yeah.
from the hospital. Actually, should we start from over here? Like the rooms and everything? Like a staircase down over here.
Down? So
Yeah,
like a base.
Wait, where's Yan? Yan, where is she?
Yan!
Oh my god. Do we already have cows over here? I remember we made like... Wait, so this is our farm area, right?
They died.
Oh yeah, I remember the creeper. Yeah. The creeper blew them up because we have one sheep, and
Yeah.
okay, it's okay. Let's just start. Let me make.
Anyway, start.
Wait. Let me just make a pickaxe. I'll start making a staircase down. Okay. One sec.
Store, bitch. Store.
Your actual stupid little. Throw you in the fire. Get over here. I'm gonna throw you in the fire. Get in the fire. Go in the fire. Go in the fire.
Why are you hitting me?
Cause you're so annoying. That's why. Okay. Anyways, let me get the axe first. So this story is about a serial killer named Larry Eiler, okay? Or he was actually known as the Larry Larry oh my god. Okay, wait, let me just type it in chat. I'm done. Larry Eiler, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So he was known as that, or the highway murderer. Okay? So like before we start, I'll get some back.
Okay, that's creepy. The nickname.
I didn't even start the story and it's already creepy to you. Anyways, sorry about that. So he was born on 21st December 1952, and he was the oldest of 4 siblings. And his parents were divorced when he was young, I think around the age of 2 or 3, okay? And around when he was 15 or 16, he was actually struggling with homosexuality. Like he had urges of homosexuality, so he was gay basically, but he didn't want to be open about it because I guess he had some issues. So he always tried to cover it up with forcefully doing with people, like raping them, and eventually eliminating the evidence, so getting rid of them. That's how the story starts off, okay?
What the fuck?
So,
Okay.
March 22nd, 1982, Jay Reynolds was murdered and he was stabbed to death in the state of Illinois. Okay. 9 months later, Delroy Baker, who was a 14-year-old, and he was strangled and his body was dumped on the road. In the same month, Stephen Crockett, 19-year-old, he was stabbed 32 times and his body was dumped on the road as well. So police didn't pick up the pattern that these bodies, when he saw them, right, when they examined them, they were all stabbed and they were all like dumped, and also they were all dismembered. That means that their body parts were taken apart. So
Wait, like the killer?
No, so like these right now there are only three people who died, right? So Jay, Delroyd, and Stephen Crockett. Okay, so all
But
these.
I meant like the killer took like he took the body parts or no?
No one knows that yet. They're dismembered, so they're broken apart. So for example, it's his arm is in one place, his head is in one place, like that. Okay,
Oh my god.
and the thing with they're all stabbed same times, usually 30 to 20 times. And the thing was, they were all like their pants had been taken down, so it indicated they had some sexual activity done with them before they died. All right. So the police still didn't realize the pattern. Like they didn't notice how they're linking to each other, right? Because they all died the same way and everything. So they didn't notice that yet.
Wait, so like they didn't know that it was the same person.
Yeah, they didn't know anything yet. Nothing. No one knew anything yet. Because it was only 3 murders so far, right?
Yeah, but like it's like 3 people died the same way. So
Yeah, but the thing was, one was in March 22nd, and then the other 2 were 9 months later, right? So they couldn't really tell it's a pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
Okay, so they didn't notice a pattern, but one of the victims of these similar killings, right? He survived, and his name was Craig Townsend. But when he was hospitalized, to recover from whatever he went through, he ran away from the hospital without speaking anything to the police. Like they had him monitored, but he managed to get away. So I guess that indicates that he was scared of someone or something that's gonna hurt him if he talks about anything, right? So he just ran away. So the police tried to track him down, but they're like, eventually throughout this whole process, they were tracking him down, but we don't know what happens yet to him. Also, Tsu, mine from there, okay? Like try making a room, like go straight. So the killer, who we don't know who it is yet, okay? For now, he continued to kill 3 more people on Christmas. And the 3 people...
Wait, before you continue, it's really dark. I feel like we need to get a torch.
Lights? Oh yeah, sure, let's get some lights. Get some torches and I'll continue actually. Okay, so... the killer continued to kill 3 people on Christmas. And those 3 people, I'm not sure of the names. If anyone knows, like, tell me, but anyways... yeah, same, yeah. I thought you meant the story was dark as well. And they talk about the cave. But anyways, the killer continued to kill 3 people, and all of their bodies were dumped in rivers. And one of them was actually dismembered again, so that means his body parts were, I guess, like parted away, or like he took them off. So this continued until 1983, until the spring of 1983, right?
So like they still didn't figure it out.
Nothing. They didn't link anything up. They couldn't, because like the thing was, this guy was really smart with his work. So he wasn't like leaving tracks until he got lazy. Okay, so anyways, so on the spring.
Wait, but like, cause like I remember when I was watching Stephanie's video. Don't they can know if like they can get the DNA if someone
Yeah, but I guess the thing is like maybe like. But the thing is, I think he worked really smartly with his stuff, because when I was reading the case, he said that this killer was really smart with his work until the end. So basically, until he got.
Wait, when did this happen though? When did this happen?
Well, the murders, they started around I think 1980.
Oh, okay.
So
So the technology wasn't that. Like...
I'm not sure about that, but I don't know like what it was. They didn't use that or anything. I'm not sure actually. I didn't like see that much about it. But anyways, oh shit! I made like so many axes. Anyway, so September 30th, 1983. This was the truck highway incident. So 2 officers were on a highway. It was in Indiana. So keep in mind, this is all happening in states that are relevantly like closer to each other. So in the United States, but they're close to each other, the states, right? So it's Illinois, Indiana, Indianapolis, all that stuff. So 2 officers were on the highway late at night, and they saw a truck moving. Okay. So the truck had 2 people there are 2 men driving it, and they noticed that they were going towards like a bushy or tree area, right? And when they're kind of suspicious, because like What if something's related to the murders and everything? Because, you know, it's usually with men. So they're just making sure.
Yeah.
So the officers went to investigate what happened, right?
Yeah.
So they identified one of the the truck owner who was driving it to be Larry Eiler, so the highway murderer. So they identified him to be the one driving it. Okay?
Okay.
And his young companion, remember, make sure, young companion, accused him of asking him to do homosexual stuff. So for example, like, he's trying to, like, make him do stuff and, like, ask him to, like, have sex with him, I guess. And
Yeah.
he also asked him if he could tie him up, which is really, really creepy. I don't know why he asked that. I guess it's like a kink or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it was really weird. So he asked him to tie him up. And then the police were like, well, that's not okay. We should investigate this further, right? So they checked the truck. And what they found was really creepy in the truck. They found surgical tape. They found a hunting knife fresh of human blood. So it was a hunting knife used for, like, deers and stuff like that, but it was fresh, full of human blood. And it was fresh as well. So they didn't understand what was happening that time. As well as...
So he already killed another person then, right?
Well, it wasn't written in the case file yet. Or from where I saw it, right? It wasn't written, like, who he murdered someone like that or anything like that. But they just found a fresh knife with dripping blood on it. So forensic experts noted that the blood type matched Ralph Galzi's. So Ralph Galzi was another one of the victims that had died with two disguised hands, but they didn't notice yet. And the imprints, they also found boots of this guy, right? So the imprints of this guy, it was the same as the boots they found that killed other people. Like, you know, the footprints, right? So when I told you about the Christmas thing, he killed 3 people, right? So Ralph was one of the people on the Christmas, actually, where he died. So they found the same footprints matching the boot ones, as well as Ralph's blood on that. On the hunting blood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the investigation continued right now. They didn't, like, arrest him formally or anything like that right now, even though it matched. That was actually, I was confused about that. Like, why didn't they just...
Wait, why?
I don't know. That's the thing I'm really confused about. Like, why didn't they just like, catch him or something like that? Like, they should have arrested him because they matched the blood and everything, right? But they didn't.
What the fuck? Why?
So the
I don't
investigation
get
still
it.
continued. I guess maybe, I don't know. Maybe, like, they weren't as advanced as today. I'm not sure about that. I don't understand that.
Maybe they didn't have enough evidence.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, this didn't count as, like, a strong evidence.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, like, if
maybe?
you have, like, blood of someone, I guess, like, that's
That's
strong.
the thing.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, what the fuck? I don't.
It's really,
get
really-
that part.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks later, around 2 weeks actually, they found Derek Hansen. I think, yeah, he was 14 years old, and they found his dismembered body. So, basically, like, a torn apart body, like a hand over here, a head over there, eyes over there. I don't know. So
Yeah.
they found his body on October 4th, 1983. 11 days later, they found a young person named John Doe's body. He was also dismembered. Okay? And this was...
God.
And then October 18th, they found 4 bodies in a dumpster. And all of those 4 bodies, their pants were taken down. So it indicates, again, that something that, like, sexual assault happened to them
The
before
thing
they
is,
died.
all these shit are happening, and
No
the
one's doing
police are not
anything.
doing anything? Like,
Yeah.
Hello?
Slow down.
Hello?
I don't, like, it's really, really, really stupid. So
Yeah.
they found 4 people in a dumpster on October 18th. Okay? And all of their pants have been taken down, so it indicates that sexual assault happened to them before they died. And then
So sad.
one of the bodies, it was decapitated, so it didn't have a head. Which
Wait,
is
are they all boys or
all boys.
Oh yeah, true, because of
Yeah. Because of his, you know how we said, like, he had
Yeah,
homosexuality, like, tendencies for it,
yeah.
but he was too embarrassed, I guess, to, like, let it,
Wait, I
you know.
can't get out.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm closing it. Don't worry. 1 second. Yeah, so he's too embarrassed of it, so then he just, like, forcefully did it to people, I guess. So anyways, they found that. Wait.
Wait, actually, we have to cover all this in words, right?
Yeah. You can try. You can start doing that if you want. I'll just start
Yeah, okay.
mining. So,
Uh,
what was I gonna say? Yeah. So they found the 4 bodies in dumpsters, decapitated. One of them had no head on them, right? And they didn't do anything yet. They weren't still confirmed with any investigation like that. They just let the murders keep happening, I guess. Well, from that's what logs show, I guess. Nothing happened so far. Okay. So, and then, so right now it's October 18th. These 4 things happened, right? So on December 5th, they found 2 more males dead. Still nothing. So February 5th,
And it feels like most of them are really young, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
freaking teenage.
yeah, they're I think the
Like,
oldest
more
was 23.
depressing.
Yeah, they're usually 15,
So
14.
depressing.
Yeah.
This is so depressing.
It just shows like more like predators and everything. How big can they be, right? Like, how like severe it can
Yeah.
get as well. Anyways, so on February 5th, so keep in mind, like throughout this whole thing, the investigation was still going on. Like who's doing the killings and stuff like that. They didn't leave it alone, but they were still investigating, right? Because they wanted to be sure, without like accusing someone of something they didn't do, right? So on February 15th.
So many people died.
Yeah,
What the heck?
yeah. I get your point. So, anyways, on
So
February 5th, the police thought it was him. Only thought. And then, once they accused him of it, he actually sued them. He opened a lawsuit for psychological warfare. Because like
Wait, what does that mean?
actually, I don't know what that means. Actually, let me Google what psychological warfare means. I think like messing with someone's mind. Let me see. To make someone look bad. So, for example, he opened a lawsuit, so saying that they
Wait,
own
what's his name?
Larry
Larry.
Larry Eiler Larry Eiler
Larry.
Larry Eiler
Yeah, he opened the
lawsuit. A lawsuit. He filed a lawsuit against them because he was saying that they're trying to like ruin my reputation by doing
make him
psychological.
bad.
Yeah, but he was actually doing everything.
Oh.
Anyways, so then he got arrested actually, but someone, so basically at the case, right, there was a hearing, and this part was kind of weird because it wasn't documented correctly. So they said that
Wait, what
someone
do you mean why?
so someone gave a hearing. So basically, you know how in court, right, when you go and people ask you to give evidence, stuff like that, right? So someone gave a hearing, and it made everyone think that the murder knife in his truck was not Larry's. And the thing is, on the file and on the story, it wasn't shown who gave the hearing, what the hearing was. It didn't show anything like that. That's kind of mysterious because
Huh?
yeah, they didn't say anything about it. Like they just said
Why?
a hearing was
They
given.
have
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like they just said a hearing was given, and like it would make everyone realize that it wasn't him. It wasn't his knife in the car, or it wasn't him. So apparently the hearing, it just made them think. You know how he strangled people on Christmas, right? The 4 people, and one of them,
yeah.
that's the blood they found in the truck, right? On the knife. So that hearing, it made them think that that blood was not his, was not the person's. It was just someone else's blood, and it wasn't Larry's fault. But the thing is, like, no, on the site where I researched this, it didn't say anything about the hearing or anything like that, what the hearing was like that. That's why it's kind of weird, but they didn't say anything about it.
So confusing.
Yeah.
Like
They didn't, I don't know what it was. It was really, really weird. So anyways, that hearing made them realize that it wasn't Larry. So then he was let free. So he was arrested and he was let free then.
release him.
And also like his lawsuit, it was also like like they just stopped. Like they didn't, like I think it just got closed off. I think like he took it back or something like that. Nothing was written on the details of that either. And after all that happened, he got out, right? So on then March 7th, 1984, 22-year-old David Block, he was murdered in the same pattern. So his pants were taken down. I'm not sure if he's dismembered or not, but he was murdered. but it was shown that his pants were taken down. So again, indicating sexual assault. And then so
Yeah, I'm so dumb.
literally.
Like these dumb police.
And then after David Block was murdered, Danny Bridges was murdered. He was a janitor actually, and he had a dog with him. So when the police people arrived to Danny Bridges' house, right, they found his dead body, I guess, but as well as they found that he had a dog. And the thing was that Danny Bridges was, I think he lived near Larry or something like that. It was near Larry's house or disposal place. So the dog, yeah, the dog lived. It's okay. The dog lived. Yeah, the dog lived. But the dog led the policemen, sorry, not people, to Larry's garbage basically, where he disposed stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when they were led to where Larry's trash and everything was, they found like many dismembered bodies, just like pieces of bodies and everything like that. So then,
God.
and the dog led them to that, right? Like it was completely out of pure luck. Like they wouldn't know anything if the dog didn't say anything, right? Or like lead them to it. I know.
Like, letting the dog do everything?
I know, right? And I think the dog wasn't even a police dog. It was just like a random dog.
Yeah.
It was the owner's dog, right? And then, after that, it was confirmed that obviously, like, Larry was a killer and everything, right? So when they arrested him and got him and everything, he confessed that there was a 53-year-old named Robert Little David, I guess. That was his full name.
Okay.
And he was the chairman, Department of Library Science of Indiana State University. So he was a really powerful person, I guess, at the time, right? So
Yeah.
he confessed that this Robert person was his partner. So while Larry got the bodies in the house, Robert took pictures of the bodies and he masturbated while Larry dismembered the bodies. So while Larry was taking the heads.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so while Larry was taking the heads and arms off the people, Robert was masturbating and taking pictures of it. So he was assisting him
So messed
with the
up.
serial killings.
That's so messed up.
And Larry only said this in order to try to get his sentence of 60 years in prison lessened, but instead of that, his sentence was increased actually to life in prison.
Oh my
So
God.
Larry,
He deserved that. Like, oh my God, this is so fucking creepy.
so
So messed up.
Larry was 60 years in prison and then eventually became life imprisonment. And then Robert, it makes no sense. Like, why would he? I mean, like, people actually enjoy this. Even like in today's world, people enjoy this stuff, like seeing people dead and stuff, gore.
So confused. Like, how? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, like I don't want to shame people for it. I guess I don't want to say that like, oh, but like it's still the same as messed up. Like I don't want to say anything bad about it. Like I don't know like how we should put it, because I don't want to offend people, but
I mean,
at the same time.
I don't want to speak about these type of people. I'm just speaking about like,
The person himself, yeah, how he was doing that.
yeah.
Oh,
he was-
so you're using the wrong block.
What?
It's all birch. We use spruce.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, we'll make the basement in birch, I
I don't
guess.
care. Just leave it.
Okay, we'll make the basement in birch, I guess.
Wait, then we have to like
Get birch.
strike-
And just like weird people like that actually exist and everything, Like I've always thought of it's like a movie
is, like,
and stuff like that.
The creepy thing, you never know who. Maybe
Yeah.
like it might be someone you know and you will never know.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing.
that's the person. Like he does these shit
And the
or
fact
she
that
does.
yeah, and the fact that we're on the internet so much, right? We're more exposed to
Yeah.
people like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Being in Discord is full of creeps and everything.
Oh my God. Also, like the thing, like I noticed like a lot of like pedos in Discord. Like I
lot.
watched so many videos.
Yeah.
Like so
We have so many friends
many
at work.
shit.
Just
Yeah,
gonna be
but
honest.
like the thing is like the thing they say, it is so fucking creepy. It is so messed up. Oh my
I mean,
God.
like-
Like I watched. even in the videos, like they show like what they say,
Yeah.
and it's so freaking creepy.
The thing is, like, I feel like it's also really normalized, like to date older men on Discord and also like all these games, like
Yeah.
because like everyone's like every 15-year-old's like, oh, I want an 18-year-old boyfriend, stuff like that, and I guess like they're just doing what they see is happening, you know. It's not really much of their own choice,
I guess so.
and like, I mean, we have someone in our server that was dating a 19-year. We have like a lot of people that were actually dating overage people.
But the thing is, like, you know, I feel like because they think some people, I think they think like that's a cool thing to date like an older guy.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
some, I know, like, okay, if the person was 18 and they want to date an older person, maybe like that's their type. Okay, but like I mean, if it was like an underage person and they want to like date an older person, I feel like maybe they think that's like a cool thing. Oh, I'm dating someone older, like, you know.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think maybe it's a thing.
I don't know. It's like, I mean, like, I think if you, well, what are you most exposed to on like media? Like whenever you see guys on the anime and everything, they're always 18, 17, older guys, right? Same with streamers,
Yeah.
everything. They're all 18, right? So of course you're gonna be attracted to that type instead of the people their own age, you know.
I guess so.
But it's really sad. At that age, you don't even know what a relationship is and everything.
Yeah, true. That's the thing. That's why like parents should be like so like, you know, careful with this, because like these kids who like around 13 like to 15 or maybe 16 actually, they can do like weird shit. Like they don't understand really what they are doing or what they are what they are
Getting themselves
deciding for
into.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you can't.
And they don't know.
Parents can't even
And the thing
supervise.
is, like, most of the time they trust people so easily. Like they don't think twice about like what's gonna happen. Like if they do something.
Also, let's sleep, by the way, because
Like
it's
really,
nighttime.
yeah. Okay.
But I was saying that like parents
Ah.
parents can't even like you know, like they can't even have so much control over their kids because like they can do anything they want online, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not, they don't have much ability to control their kids because you can do so much stuff on Discord and like meet random people and stuff like that.
But I feel like they have to be like more
Involved.
you know, like they have to, yeah, like they have to like ask them and be with them and like know what they do and shit.
Yeah, I guess.
You know.
But I guess like
Or
it's,
like maybe like remind them like don't talk like to some people like
yeah, but then like
things, like,
people,
about,
like
what to
kids
say.
think it's like, oh, it's so embarrassing, my dad and mom are in my life like that. Like that's what they get the first image in their minds, right? Like, oh, don't
I
like
guess,
don't like be so bossy. I mean, like we were at that stage too. Like I didn't want like people coming in my life like that, boss telling what to do
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's
I
a stage.
understand.
I mean, like people who don't go through it, I guess, are just considered lucky. But I guess it's everyone. I guess like everyone goes through it and they learn from it, you know. But yeah.
I want the parents to be strict, but not super strict. Like,
'Cause I feel
want
like
them.
The parents have to
I feel
realize.
like they should. I feel like they should like tell them.
I
Okay,
don't know
like
what bird shit is.
remind them or tell them, but like don't tell them like, oh, don't use this. Give me your phone or like that. I feel like they will get the wrong idea.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they feel like, oh my god, my parents, they don't want me to live my life. Oh, I would like that.
Yeah.
They will think like that. I feel like they should just like communicate with each other peacefully without like.
But I think like the parents won't know what they're going through unless they went through it themselves. It's a big factor.
Yeah.
Because like what we have today is not what they had like years ago, right? Discord and everything.
True.
So I guess like, I mean, like people, I mean, I guess like they're trying to like learn from their own experiences and everything, like with what happened with them and stuff like that. Like, for maybe like stuff happened with them when they were young, and they're just doing the same thing that they think that would be best for them at their age, but it really isn't best for the people at this age. It's like a different era and everything, you know.
Yeah, new generation.
Yeah,
Stuff.
and like there's just so much stuff like they couldn't do that at that time that we can do today. So most of their rules and stuff, they don't work today because they haven't been through it, right? And honestly, it's unreasonable for us to ask to them to parent like so in a good way, but they haven't been through half of the stuff that we have been through, right? And they don't know how to fix
Yeah,
that.
true.
I mean, it's a hard
True,
thing.
true.
It's a hard thing to do, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess
True.
I think you're gonna be. I don't know if you're gonna be mad, but I
You were
think
recording?
yeah, yeah.
I knew it.
You knew it?
Actually, I wanted to record, but I was like, oh shit, should I not record?
I was recording. I was recording. It's still recording right
So
now.
like, I was gonna do the same thing, and then I won't
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
I thought you
I
wouldn't
looked
know.
at we did the same
I
thing.
know exactly. This is the exact same stuff.